Hello. This video includes tips on how to administer the Trauma and Behavioral Health Screen, or TBH, as an interview. Building on what we explained in the previous video, this will illustrate some new advice. Remember, caseworkers will usually hand the TBH to caregivers and children for them to fill out on their own. However, there will be times when you will have to read the TBH to children as an interview. When children are 7, 8, or 9 years old, they are too young to understand some of the questions. The first thing we want you to notice is that the interviewer uses what we call a matter-of-fact tone throughout the interview. You may remember this was mentioned in an earlier video too. The interviewer uses a calm, business-like attitude, which creates an atmosphere where talking about trauma is okay and normal.
Have you ever been in a situation where you saw somebody else who could have been hurt or could have been killed? Like, have you ever seen anybody hurt your mom, like hitting or pushing her?
My dad pointed a gun at my mom.
Were you there when it happened? No. Your mom told you about it?
I didn't, and I didn't see it. I woke up one night from a bad dream in the middle of the night, and I went downstairs to get something to drink because my throat was hurting. In the living room, my dad pointed a gun at my mom.
Okay. Were there any other times besides that one where your dad maybe hit her or touched her?
Well, once I woke up from a strange noise downstairs, and in the living room, my dad was on top of my mom, and my mom was on the floor.
So those 2 times. Did it happen any other time? Not that you can remember? Okay. Have you ever been very upset by someone forcing you to do something sexual that you didn't want to do? Like if they made you touch their privates, or if you touched theirs in a way you didn't want to?
The interviewer asked whether this boy had experienced the trauma of sexual abuse by asking if someone had done anything sexual to him. A boy this young does not really understand the word sexual, so the interviewer immediately rephrased it as, "Did anyone touch your privates?" That's a good way to rephrase it. There are other good ways to reword the question, and you may already have your own way of doing so.
Well, I had a half-sister who touched me.
You had a half-sister. She touched you on your privates?
My mom remembers how old I was. I think I was 3.
We're asking her these same exact questions, so if you don't remember, she might remember. Was it just one time, or was it more than one time?
Just once.
That was really brave. That's hard to talk about. Okay. Since these things happened, have there been certain things that really made you remember them? For example, if you see something on TV, or you see a picture of your dad, does it make you think about what he did?
Here, the interviewer is asking about the PTSD symptom of psychological distress at reminders of the trauma. She asked about the symptom with a question about reminders that is very general. We know from experience that most children do not understand this general question, so the interviewer immediately asked the question again in a much more specific way. The interviewer knows that this boy witnessed domestic violence, so she asked if reminders about his dad bother him. We call this educational interviewing. Some PTSD symptoms are very abstract and difficult to understand, so you have to educate the person about what the symptom is before you can ask them if they have it. This is probably different from the way you have been taught to interview. Next, the interviewer is thinking on her feet and remembers the other traumatic events that this boy has experienced. She is going to ask him about possible reminders for those events.
Or maybe if you were to see a picture of your half-sister. Or do you get nervous around cars that look like the one that hit you? Or maybe when you walk past the intersection where you got hit.
Well, I was riding my bike, and the car was waiting for me. When I went, the car just started moving, and then it hit me.
It just hit you? So does it make you nervous crossing the street now? Or, how about TV shows?
This type of educational interviewing may feel like you are leading the witness. You have probably been taught in your training not to lead the witness because children will say yes to symptoms that they don't really have. Remember, this is not a forensic legal exam. It is okay to lead the witness. In fact, because of the avoidance in PTSD and the complicated nature of some of these symptoms, you have to lead the witness to get accurate answers. If children say yes, you can always ask for examples to convince yourself that a yes is really a yes. You are the final judge of whether to endorse the symptoms. Most children will not be trying to give wrong answers. They will appreciate this extra help to give accurate answers. Thanks again for watching.